Yes. All right, I'm gonna reduce everybody's faces. And here we go.
Where people were not allowed to be together. You remember that? I'm grateful for the internet and the online pivot that my team was able to make. And I know that we live in an internet social media world. I get it, I do. But there will never be a time when we stop needing human connection, right? Yeah. There will never be a time when we don't need an escape from the house and a moment to ourselves. And in my opinion, connection happens faster and deeper when we are in person. Brene Brown said, "We are hardwired to connect with others. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives. And without it, there is suffering." You guys, people need you right now. They do. And you know what? The number one way that I'm seeing my team get enrollments is through home classes. The number one way, my top enrollers. Okay, so let's dive in. Do you want all the goods? I'm ready. Okay, so who's intentional when they go into their class? Do you think about, what do I want from this class? Do you make plans of what you want to have happen? What's your goal? So what do I need in my business most right now? I hope you're asking yourself those questions. Typically, when I go into a class, I'm thinking about that, and this is what I want. I want to deeply connect and be the person that makes a difference in those people's lives that are coming to that class that night. I feel like we both were put together for a reason, and I'm there to show up and bring all I've got, right? But guess what? I also want enrollments, I want classes, and I want new partners. So I go in with those in mind, and you're gonna see my number one strength is strategy. So that's gonna be pretty heavy in strategy and the things that we do in our classes. So I'm gonna share with you the 5 main elements that are crucial to rocking your home class. So number 1, you've got your coaching your host. Number 2, some specific strategy in the class. We'll talk about stacking the hostess with number 3. Number 4, you're gonna have a 30-second commercial that attracts builders. And number 5, you're gonna close with intention. So we're gonna dig into all 5 of these right now. So jumping into number 1, this is coaching your host. So you've got to remember, you are the captain of this ship. So why take time to coach your host? I mean, it's easy, right? She just needs to tell her friends and make some peppermint brownies, and it's easy, right? Not that hard. But you're going to have much better results, hands down, when you coach your hostess. So take a look at pro athletes. They're pros, right? So why do they have a coach? They know exactly what they're doing. Here's why. You need to have someone with perspective that's not in the middle of the game, that has experience and knows how to give the direction for success. This is key. So that's what your host needs from her, okay? So we have a 2-1-1-1 process that we use for making contact. So the success of your class starts 2 weeks before the class. So you want to use your calendar, pull it out 2 weeks before you're writing a note to say, oh, my first contact is happening here, right? So 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 day, 1 hour. Okay, that's your 2-1-1-1. 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 day, 1 hour. So we're going to dive into those just a little bit more. So I always try to talk to them on the phone for just 5 minutes. I know that's totally old school, right? But you can use your rotary and then just give them a call, okay? So you're just gonna send a quick text that says, I'm so excited to come share doTERRA with your friends and help you get some free product. It's time to get started with inviting. Do you have 5 quick minutes that we can chat so I can give you my best tips and what works to get people there? So she's kind of interested, right, to talk to me. I kind of dangled some my best tips. Who doesn't want your best tips? So I'm gonna hop on the phone for 5 quick minutes, okay? So these are the most important things that you're going to go over. Number one, who to invite. I love this acronym, Frankies. Each one of these letters stands for a group of people. And if they come up with about 6 people in each category, which makes it really easy and simple, then they're gonna have a full about 40 people. Okay, so easy, right? So F stands for friend, R stands for relatives, A is acquaintances, and this is an important group. N is neighbors, K is people they know through their kids, friends, parents. I is people from the internet, and S is people who are suffering. That can be a really long list, right? So they can make their list, and I'm giving them who to invite. Number 2 is how many people to invite. So we need to let them know only about a quarter of the people are going to come who they invite. So we've just got to play the numbers game because we like to have about 10 yeses going into that night. So they're really going to need to invite 35 to 40 to get that 10, right? So that's really important. Number 3 is how to invite. You have to make the invite personal. If you put a big message out to the Facebook world and say, everybody come to my class, guess how many people come? Right? Because they all think someone's going to go. But when I send a message and say, hey, Shelly, I haven't seen you in a while. I would love to have you come. Shelly's like, oh, what? It's personal, right? No group text. Put their name at the beginning. So that's super important. Number 4 is managing expectations so that we prevent shutdown and cancellations when people either don't respond or they tell her no. So have you ever been vulnerable and invited somebody to something and they just didn't respond? How does it feel? Like, does your brain start to go wild and you're like, oh no, okay, they probably think oils are dumb. Oh wait, no, they think I'm dumb. Oh, what was I thinking hosting this class? I'm just gonna text her, never mind, I don't wanna do the class, nobody wants to come. That happens all the time. So if I can manage those expectations and say, hey, when you invite people, it's totally normal not to hear back right away. People check their phones. I don't know about you, but I check my phone at a red light. It goes green. I got to hurry and put my phone down. By the time I get to my location, it's 20 texts down, right? People are just busy. Or maybe they wanted to check their calendar and they forgot to get back. They don't get back. That's just normal. So it's all good. We're going to follow up. So don't worry about that. And guess what? Then they plan on not hearing back immediately, and it's okay. And we're not panicking. So pro tip. Okay, we're going to pause for just a moment here. Pause. This is some pretty good relationship building, right? I'm coaching her, I'm giving her my best tips, I'm like actually talking to her. So if you are not looking at your host as your number 1 prospect as a builder, it is time to get to work with more intention and make the invitation to every host to join your business. So you're already partnering with her or him, right? And you're providing coaching and value. You're seeing what they're made of and how they're showing up. So you can say something like, hey, you did an amazing job. I'd love to work with you. Would you be open to learn more about the business side of doTERRA? Easy, right? And they're gonna be like, yeah, that was kind of fun. Yeah, all those people did get their, oh yeah, I'm getting some 20% now, refer a friend, yeah? Okay, so let's jump to week 1. So that was at 2 weeks, right? We're just getting the ball rolling and we're giving her all the best coaching. Now, 1 week out, I'm gonna send a text and I'm gonna say, hey, Sherry, how's it coming with inviting? How many yeses do you have so far? Very specific question, right? How many yeses? If she does not come back with a number for me, red flag, sirens, time to make a call to save the class. It's either going downhill or I can give her a couple more tips and we can like get this back on schedule. And that really messes your calendar up when you're planning on a class that night and then it just gets blown apart, right? You can't get a last minute class. So I'm gonna call her and I'm gonna ask her the questions about what we talked about before on that first call. Hey, have you started inviting? How many did you invite? Tell me how you invited them. You'll always find the problem. They're like, yeah, no one wants to come. I invited 10 people. You're like, oh, okay, we talked about 40. Where did they get 10? But it happens all the time, right? So that coaching again, I'm showing up and I'm guiding her through that. So I can have her send another text and we'll follow up and check and say, hey, I need to count for food and prizes. Can you make it? Right? So that's your 1 week before. Now, one day, it's just simple. I send her a text reminder. Hey, get a reminder out to your people. It can be fast and simple. Something that says, class starts at 7. Can't wait to see you. That's it. Then 1 hour before. Now, your host is going to feel like this is excessive, but I'm telling you, 1 hour before is when you lose people. Someone knocks on the door, someone's dog threw up. It just all of a sudden they can't get to the class, right? So she's going to be busy getting her house clean, her refreshments ready. So she sets a reminder in her phone to tell her to send reminders 1 hour before. Fast and simple. I usually send a fun little, I'm so excited image, and see you soon. That's it. Okay. Right. That's our hostess coaching, right? 2, 1, 1, 1. But overall, it does not take that much time, and it really solidifies your classes and the attendance there. Okay. Number 2. This is our number 2 strategic move is strategy in the class. So we want to start with the end in mind. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard this, but what kits are you going to show them at the end? I want you to remember this. The confused or overwhelmed mind always says no. Exactly. So I highly recommend don't show all the kits. Just try it. Trust me. Do not show all of them. Choose 3. Maybe if you have to, 4. Maybe. Okay. But people buy what you teach about. So if you want them to buy MetaPower, you've got to teach about MetaPower. So start with the end in mind. Okay. Next is dangle your incentives. So you're going to offer things for free at the end to those who book a class. You can decide what those things are and make sure that you're showing those or highlighting those items during the class, and then slip in a little line. Oh, and you can get this for free. I'll show you more at the end of the class. So they're like, ooh, what, free? How do I, ooh, right? So if you're giving away the keychain, for example, then use the keychain, show the keychain, teach from it, give them an oil from it, right? That's the dangling before, so they're really wanting it. If you're going to give a diffuser away, have a diffuser going. Make sure to mention it during the class and tell them that they can get that for free also. So they're just like, whoa, what's going on here with the free? How about the Diamond Club incentives? If you've got anyone in Diamond Club, Adaptive is free at 100 PV. So when you're sharing Adaptive, you're like, everyone here tonight can get the Adaptive for free when you get started with oils. They're just like on the edge of their seat. They can't wait till the end, right? Like, how do I get all this free stuff? Okay, last in this category of strategy is what I call using booking seeds. So a booking seed is a one-liner that you say during the class to create curiosity or desire for them to host a class. So you're going to choose 3 to 5 places where you can insert the idea and benefit of hosting a class into your presentation without just coming right out and being like, you guys should host. Okay, we're getting really strategic here. So let me give you a couple of examples for me, what I use. So when I talk about On Guard, I'll say, when I learned about On Guard at the very first class I attended, this was when I knew I had to have these oils in my home, and I knew I wanted to have all my people over to learn about it. What do you think? Yeah? Okay, so I didn't say you host a class, right? But they're like, oh, the idea is planted there in the brain. How about when you talk about aromatic or the diffuser, you say, I love this diffuser. It's the #1 reason people book a class, because they can get one for free. Right? Or when people are laughing and having a good time, what if you said, isn't it fun to get out of the house and take a break? Thanks, Tammy, for hosting. Do you see what I'm saying? These are the little booking seeds. So you plant them strategically into your class and into your presentation. Okay, our number 3 piece of strategy. Number 2, maybe I'm a little ahead.